Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Holly Shields here reporting live from Kalkan Studio in Sydney where it's lunchtime. And that means it's time for the Mood Market Pulse. In today's show, we'll have a look at the overall Australian share market performance by the mid-session trade and then explore the biggest winners and losers of the day, like ARB Corp, Hub24, WiseTech, Pendal, Elders, Platinum and others. Then we'll wrap it up by looking at the stocks including Rio, BHP, Pendal Group, Qantas, Macquarie and many more that have grabbed headlines today. So to kick off, the Australian shares continued to trade higher by the afternoon, albeit pairing half of the early gains. Led by gains in tech and mining stocks, the market witnessed broad-based buying following positive cues from Wall Street. The rebound in growth-driven tech stocks and a spurt in commodity prices supported the market gains. The benchmark index ASX 200 gained 0.34% by lunchtime. The index opened high today and rose as much as 0.84%, tracking overnight gains in Wall Street. Meanwhile, the US stocks ended higher on Thursday amid a strong earnings report by the likes of Bank of America and United Health. Investors were cautiously optimistic after President Joe Biden signed into law a bill raising the US debt limit until early December. The House approved the $480 billion increase in the country's borrowing ceiling on Tuesday, after the Senate approved it for a party line vote last week. Back on Wall Street, the Dow Jones rose 1.4%, the S&P 500 gained 1.6%, and the Nasdaq Composite sailed 1.65% higher. Back home on the sectoral front, 9 of 11 sectoral indices were trading higher, as the IT sector emerged as the biggest gainer for the second day, rising 1.5% following overnight gains in its US counterpart, Nasdaq. The tech sector was followed by materials, which traded 1.3% higher, just as mining stocks extended their rally for the second day owing to a rise in commodity prices. Among others, healthcare, consumer discretionary, energy, telecom, AREIT and industrials also traded higher with modest gains. Although bucking the bullish trend, consumer staples sector emerged as the worst performer with a 0.75% loss. Then the utility sector also traded lower with marginal losses. To the COVID-19 front now, and the state of New South Wales has reported 399 new local cases and 4 deaths in the past 24 hours. In a major policy change, the state has decided to scrap quarantine for fully vaccinated international travellers from the 1st of November. Unvaccinated travellers, on the other hand, will still have to enter hotel quarantine. New South Wales is the first state to remove quarantine for international travellers, and since March of 2020, all states and territories have required all overseas passengers to quarantine in hotels at their own expense for 14 days. Meanwhile, Victoria continues to see a spike in locally acquired cases as it registered over 2,000 infections and 6 deaths on Friday. The death toll for the current Delta outbreak stands at 131, and there are now over 21,000 active cases of the virus in the state of Victoria. Despite the rise in cases, the state government remained on track to remove COVID-19 curbs next week, as it will achieve its vaccination targets. Now for a look at the top gainers and losers by the mid-session trade. Well, the winner on the ASX pack today was automobile and components manufacturer ARB Corp, which rose a staggering 6.7%. Some of the other notable gainers include investment platform Hub24, software firm WiseTech Global, miner Oz Minerals, and gambling company Star Entertainment Group. On the flip side, though, diversified financial group Pendal emerged as the top laggard with a 10.9% loss. Some of the other worst performers were food, beverage and tobacco business Elders, asset management platform Platinum and Aussie winemaker Treasury Wine Estates, as well as retailer Harvey Norman. Well, with that said, it's time now for a short break, but stay tuned because I'll be right back on the other side with more trending market updates. Tune in to stay updated while on the move.
We will tell you where the crypto craze has reached,
where the property market is headed next,
what the world is doing to become more environmentally friendly,
Apart from tracking the daily market charter,
Be on top of the latest news and announcements
with Kalkine TV. Hello and welcome back. Holly Shields here live from Sydney and you're watching the Mid-Market Commentary. Let's check out the stocks that are creating a buzz on the ASX today. And the first on our radar is investment banking giant Macquarie Group. The share price of the company gained 2.5% to hit a fresh high of 187.4 by the mid-session after a brokerage firm hiked its price target. Morgan Stanley has raised its price target by 37% to $240, saying that the lender deserved a green premium. Macquarie shares gained 5.25% in the last 1 month and 18.7% over a 6-month period. Well, next is a global investment business Pendal Group, which dropped nearly 9%. The share price dropped despite rises in the funds under management for the September quarter. FUM jumped by 30.5% to $139.2 billion from $106.7 billion in the June quarter. The Aussie business saw a record quarter of flows through the higher margin wholesale channel, with strong net inflows in the Australian large cap, sustainable multi-asset and fixed income funds. The company said that the acquisition of Thomson, Siegel and Walmsley helped it raise FUM. And meanwhile, shares of Qantas Airways climbed nearly 4% on a deal to sell its surplus land in South Sydney's Mascot for $802 million. Australia's largest airline by fleet size has inked a pact with the consortium led by Logos Property Group for a sale of 13.8 hectares of land in Mascot. The fund proceeds will be used to reduce debt and accelerate the airline's recovery. The company plans to reach net debt target by the end of 2022. All this as the transaction remains subject to some conditions, while settlement of most of lots is expected in the first half of this financial year. Shares of blue chip miner Rio Tinto dropped over 1% after it lowered its full-year target for shipments of the steelmaking raw material from Western Australia. The company said in an exchange filing that it now expects Pilbara shipments of iron ore to be 320 million tonnes to 325 million in the 12 months to December 31, which is actually lower than the previous target of up to 340 million tonnes. The drop in shipment target was attributed to a delay in completion of the new greenfield mine at the G'day Dari and Robe Valley brownfield mine replacement project due to the tight labour market in Western Australia. And shares of BHP Group rose 2.5% after shareholders endorsed the company's climate transition strategy. The details from BHP's annual general meeting in London revealed that 83% of shareholders supported the climate change plan. Aussie shareholders will be voting on the climate plan at a meeting in Melbourne on the 11th of November. The company has previously set a target to cut direct operational emissions by 30% before the end of the decade, and hit a net zero emission by the year 2050. Well, with that said, that is a wrap for now on the Mid-Market Pulse, but keep watching Kalkine TV for more trending market updates from Australia and around the world. Holly Shields signing off.